What's going on, everybody? It's been like 3 months since I posted anything. I had a crazy work schedule for like 2 months straight on nights, so I wasn't able to do much of anything. I wasn't able to really get any of these videos edited. This project I'm doing now was actually completed like 3 months ago before my work got crazy, and I'm just now able to get it edited and put out. In fact, obviously right now is when I'm recording the intro after the fact because I never did one back then. Whatever. But now I'm back, and it's time to start getting some projects done. Now, a storage room might not sound like that cool or that flashy of a video, and it's not. But it's often necessary for many of us. So just to tell you what happened with us, so 4 years ago, I think it was 4 years ago now, 4 or so years ago, we moved in and we just threw a lot of stuff into this storage space in our basement. These walls weren't even here at the time. This was just an open area that was all the way to one side in our basement. And we just threw boxes and threw crap in here that we didn't need at the time and obviously weren't needing on a regular basis. 4 years go by and we're like, you know what? We really need to go through that stuff and organize this because this was just about literally, and I'll show you in a minute, you know those old cartoons and whatever, you'd see somebody open like a messy closet door and the entire thing just like falls down onto them? This is almost that. Not quite, but it was getting there. So we really needed to do something about this. Plus, going through all this stuff, we ended up finding things that we had either forgotten or didn't know where they were. And going through this stuff and organizing this, we were finally able to do that. We found stuff like, oh hey, here's this thing that we haven't been able to find for 4 years. So I encourage you, if any of this matters to you or if any of this is at all curious, like, hey, how did they organize their storage room? Because we really need to do some organization ourselves. I encourage you to stick around. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, the bell, all the things, well, whatever. Other than that, let's get into it. Check out my awesome Star Wars toys. These are like 20 years old. These, I think, came out even before the prequels. This might have been just after the re-release of the original trilogy in the late 90s. Apparently I was really into Clifford when I was young. I do not remember having this many books about Clifford. So this is where we are so far. I believe this is all trash. This stuff over here is donations. We'll be getting donated. And this stuff is keep piles. And some of this stuff I think just needs to be gone through. So some of this might be trash a little bit. Most of that's keeps. This is maybe or keeps. I don't know. So my wife says she thinks this is going to take longer than she expected, and she's correct. Oh. Our wedding scrapbook. My mom made this for us and gave it to us as a gift. My wife was actually looking for this not too long ago. Nice. Oh man, these are my ornaments from my grandmother that I obviously never even opened. Funny story, I had a cousin who was really into Star Trek when he was young. I wasn't, but because of that, my grandmother bought us all, like the boys, Star Trek. Well, that's Star Wars, obviously. Oh, cool. But my grandmother would buy us Star Trek ornaments every year at Christmas time. And I didn't care about Star Trek, but So I think that's why I never even opened them at the time. And I still, yeah, obviously never even opened them. But now, oh, Boba Fett, no way. But now that my grandma has passed, it's, I don't know, it's kind of cool. Like, I still don't want to open them. I want to just kind of keep them as, like, keepsakes. Ah, keepsake, get it? I didn't actually intend that. I just thought that was funny. Dude, this was like my safe as a kid. This was the thing. There's not much in here now. These are like old pictures. I think this is old Disney World pictures or something. This is what I had under my bed to keep my like secret stuff in when I was a kid. I did not remember that I had this many boxes of books. I don't know where the heck I'm gonna put all these things. Dude, check that out. Oh yeah, Guatemalan machete. Check that out. I was pretty into dinosaurs as a kid. I really like Jurassic Park, man. Sue me. Okay, guys, it is day 2, and I think we've got enough stuff out of here, out of the way, that I can start putting up some shelves, and then we can actually start getting stuff out of the way up on the shelves where we want them to be. So what I'm going to be using to do that is these kind of pretty standard, I mean, you'll see these in like a lot of closet systems, but these are from a brand, John Sterling, which I get at my local Menards. And they got a couple kind. They got this kind, and then they have a heavy duty one, but I didn't need the heavy duty stuff, so this is just like the regular. But these are pretty strong, can hold several hundred pounds. So these are 72-inch vertical pieces that I'm gonna be doing, and these will mount right to either the studs over here or on these walls over these metal studs. Now, with those ones, I do have to do something a little different, whereas these ones, actually on the wood, what they're going to do is hang from this piece right here. So this is going to get fastened up onto the studs up high, and then those all have a hook in the top where they're going to hang from this. But then they're going to be screwed into the studs too. So those will be really strong up on the studs. For the concrete walls with my steel studs, I got to do something a little bit different, and that is this guy right here. So I'm gonna have to screw this into my sill plate up on top of the wall, and the vertical pieces will hang down over my steel studs. And that hangs from these little hooks right here. So the vertical pieces will just hang right off of this. Now I'm still gonna fasten the vertical pieces to the steel studs, but it's doing it more for just holding them in place as opposed to actual structural support. Well, I mean, the steel studs can hold some weight. Obviously, you can fasten wall material to it and probably even, hang things off of that. But it's not, obviously, nowhere near the same as screwing into wood. So I'm not counting on that to hold a whole lot of weight. That's really just to keep these vertical pieces in place. And what will be carrying most of the weight is these guys right here screwed into the sill plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and start clearing out this area over here to open up this space for this wall, and then I'll be moving stuff out of the way right here to get at this wall and get these hung up over here. So the first thing I notice is where I want to place this piece up top is all the way up against the wall, the corner over there. My holes aren't in line with my studs, and I didn't really want to go this way to get them in line like this, because then I'm way outside that way, and I think I'm gonna be using that corner stud for one of my posts for the shelves. It's gonna go all the way to that inside corner, as opposed to using this one here. So what I think I'm going to do is trim off about 1 3/4 to 2 inches off of that end over there, and that will shift the whole thing over so that these holes will be right over these studs here. Now I knew this would be a potential issue. It's not as much an issue here because this can just flex right around this, but it will be over there because I'm putting a vertical piece here and here I'm bolted there. But I knew this because this is the height that I wanted. I figured I would just have to adjust this, which is fine. But I want to actually move these anyways because when I set up that outlet box there for my gym, I didn't know exactly how I was going to be setting the gym up. So I'm going to be moving that box, I believe, down to the next stud because this mirror is going to be right across these two studs here and it'll be blocking that. I'm going to have it low enough on the wall, it's going to be blocking that. So I want to move that outlet over anyways, and the issue with that is I don't have any wire lengthening device. So what I'm going to have to do is, or what I thought might be a good idea anyways, I mean, I don't know how often I'm going to be using an outlet in a storage area, but maybe it's a good idea to have one in here. I don't know. I mean, I got outlets right out there, so I could obviously use those if ever I need to. But whatever, it's just an outlet. It's not that much. A box is a couple bucks. An outlet's a few bucks. I've got plenty of wire, so that's not an issue. So what I'm probably going to be doing is cutting this wire and perhaps installing a box here on this side of the wall. And then that will then run from there to that box, which will be then down here. And I'll obviously move this down so that it's not in the way of any of this stuff. So that's what I think I'm going to do at this point. I start down at the bottom because I feel like it's easier to then do the rest without having to worry too much about its plumbness, or as someone I knew once referred to it as vertically level. I got all three of these done. This is what I'm going to be using for the actual shelves. Now this is just a 13-inch one, which is what I'm going to be using up the top up here. Down here I got, I don't have them yet, but I got to get some 20-inch ones. And how this works, it's got this little kickstand here, and you just slide these in like that, and you got to get the kickstand in the right spot. And that slides down right there, and that just hangs in place like that. These are supposed to be good for 300 pounds each, and I'm going to have 3 per row. I actually already have these on another shelf in my basement, and I put a fair amount of weight on these without any issue. So I think their weight capacities are probably pretty accurate. So this is what I'm going to have up top, 20-inch row down here, roughly up here, and this guy will be up higher. So that's how these are all going to work. All right, guys, it's been a long day. I think this is all we're getting done tonight. But as you can see, we got this whole wall done. We got all the vertical things on. I don't know what they're called. We got all these brackets in. I got some shelves. I had to go to the store with my dad, and we got some 4x8 sheets of fiberboard. And I was a little worried on just the strength of these. Like this one especially, because I got 32 inches between these because I'm skipping a stud, and surprisingly these are a lot sturdier than I expected, being fiberboard. Now one thing I'm going to do, and that's what I'm gonna do next, is I got 1x2s, and I'm gonna be gluing and nailing those into the ends here as basically as an end board here to help give it some rigidity here in the front. So that should help even strengthen it up even more. But surprisingly, these are nicer than I expected them to be. Now, one thing I did notice is I was looking at the pre-made shelving that you might find at any of the big box stores that has like the laminate on top, either white or like a faux stupid wood look. And they had 3/4 inch too, and I was like, maybe I'll do that because then I won't have to cut it. because this was a 4x8 sheet. And it would have cost a little bit more, but again, I wouldn't have to cut it. But those were way flimsier than this stuff. So I don't know if it's just this is a higher density than that stuff, but this stuff is a lot stronger. The sheet was a lot stronger than those already pre-made shelving fiberboard shelves were. Okay, it's tomorrow, let's get these shelves done. I got these 1x2s. I'm just gonna be taking these, gluing and brad nailing them right to the end of the board like that, on edge. And then I'll give it a little bit of sanding once it's on there because these are a little bit rough. But that should add some rigidity and strength to these shelves. So as is pretty usual with glue, you get some squeeze out. I could just wipe this off right now with water, but because this is fiberboard and it can swell up real easy, I'm not sure if I want to do that. I might be able to do it and it'd be fine, but I don't know. So I'm just gonna leave it, let this stuff set up a little bit, and then I'll scrape it once it's more like a gel consistency before it's totally hard. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do all the rest. That was pretty quick and easy. Let's get it done. Those are done. While that glue dries on those, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on cutting this down to size. Cutting stuff like this, I would definitely recommend wearing some kind of dust mask. I mean, obviously, if this is not something you're doing all the time, is it really going to affect your health? Probably not. But even still, there's a lot of crap in this kind of stuff that you don't really want to breathe in, even if you're not doing it that often. It's still not great for you, especially when you're in an enclosed space like this. So just throw something on. So I'm just setting a guide up here with my level for my circular saw, and I got it offset for the width I need it for my blade. I'm coming past here off of the rails here 6 inches. I thought that'd be an okay distance. It's not too much to where if you put too much weight on there, it might just break off. So hopefully that 6 inches should be fine. So I'm gonna cut through that top one. Once that one's cut, I'm gonna remove that, and then I'll move my guide down and finish the cuts on these back two here. Now I could have taken these outside to recut them, but I'm not doing that because, well, I'm lazy. Now before you judge me, just remember that I'm sure plenty of you have been lazy too. So, you lazy slug, why don't you hit that subscribe button? So I just got to go ahead and attach these to these shelves just like I did in the other ones. What I'm going to do on these is I'm just going to glue and nail these on as they are, run them long, and I'm just going to take my hacksaw and cut off the ends there. My wife's probably going to be ticked at me for making all this dust. Shelves are done. It's time to move the crap back in here. This room has been a mess since we moved in. You've barely been able to get into it, had no idea where anything was, so we are loving this. And I only have one thing left to do. Well, besides that, okay, 2 things left to do. First thing I'm going to be doing is installing the light switch. We just have one bulb light in here, so I'm actually going to be installing a second one, but also currently this light is connected to our gym. So the gym light comes on, this light comes on. So I need to install its own switch and a second light. So I got to get to that. So what I've typically done with the rest of the switch boxes in my house is 42 inches off the floor to the bottom of the box. So I'll just go ahead and line up the bottom of my box. Now, from what I've read, at least in the book that I had for doing electrical in my own house, was there is no exact measurement here. It kind of falls within a range, and I can't remember exactly what that range is, but there isn't an exact height or rule of thumb per se. It's just kind of a range within which the box needs to fall. That typically is how it's done. Kind of the same thing with the outlet boxes down lower. But so I've set mine, and I don't remember why I chose 42, if that was from the book or not, or if that was just what I came up with, and I like that height. But yeah, I've gone with 42 inches to the bottom of the box, and it's worked out fine for me. So no, I don't have to be 100% precise here. Yeah, so I said this one's got tabs here. Just help hold it in place until you get it actually screwed in. Rock solid. Now for the fun part of actually disconnecting this light from where it's currently getting power and running new power line from a switch to this box. Actually, once this light is disconnected from power, I'm going to try and pull this box. I've done it before, it's not that hard, but it can be a little bit of a pain to get those nails out. But I'm gonna move this box, I think, further that way, and then I'm going to be adding another one over in here. So I can get two lights in here and make it a little brighter. Okay, so power to this is dead. That's why I have my light in here. This is the wire going to my light in the storage area. So I've got to disconnect this from the outlet in here. These are my lights here. These are just plug-in lights here in the gym. So I got to get this off. All right. What's what here? Okay, hold on. Like our bottom two here. Okay. I like to, I don't think it's a big deal really, but I like to reset those screws. If there's nothing on them, I just prefer it to be tight. So there's the wire to the light over in the storage room. Okay. That's back in. Pull this out and figure out which switch I'm going to be connecting to. Okay, so it took me a minute to figure out which switch I needed to come off of, but this one makes the most sense. It's the closest one to it. But I got to do something a little different here. Luckily, I bought wire before prices of this stuff just went stupid, so I got plenty of 14.2 here. I got to run this from this switch to get power off of this switch to a switch over there on the other side of that wall right there. I don't know if I want to show that because I'm probably going to look like a fool. So I'm going to do that and I'll get back to you when I'm done. Helpful tip for running any wire. Unspool the wire for the whatever approximate length you need. Oh man, this one's kind of all messed up here. But rather than leaving it coiled up and just trying to do it that way, it'll just end up being a pain in the butt. So unspool it. Now this is going to give me a problem here, because this stuff apparently has gotten tangled up, but the tip still stands. Okay, so I've got my wire run all the way over to here. It's not done yet. I'm still gonna nail it up to my joist up top, and I have to connect it down there into that box still. So right now this is just a free wire. There's nothing, it's not connected anywhere. And this is just the one connected up to my light here. So this is obviously, there's no power anywhere, because I'm gonna terminate here at this box first. Now I just wanna preface this. I am in no way an electrician. My father and I wired my entire house, this house, ourselves, and we had no trouble getting the inspection or passing the inspection. But again, I am not an electrician. I just do my own electrical work, and if it's more in-depth, I call on my father, who is more experienced than I am. If you are doing exposed, like potentially permanently exposed wiring. I believe you're supposed to have some kind of conduit. I just got some flex conduits. My dad had some. So, but it's got to be in some kind of conduit to protect the wiring. And obviously, if you look at the back side of the box, conduit goes into this 90 fitting here, right into the back. So there was a knockout here in the back for that. And that 90 fits in through that knockout. And then there's actually a nut, a metal nut that threads onto that fitting and holds the fitting into the box. And then this is a plastic bushing that you want to put around that fitting to protect these edges of these wires from getting scratched up by the metal. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my box here, get everything terminated and connected up here, because before obviously power is actually applied to any of these wires. I'll probably go ahead and get these lights too before connecting it to power as well. So yeah, I'll get everything done, terminated and finished, and then I'll hook it up to power in that other box. Simple little clips like this can go a long way in making a job look a little more professional. For the door, I was actually asking my wife, which way do we want the door to swing in? Do we want it swinging into the left, obviously coming in from there, to the left or the right? And she says to me, which way does that extra door we have swing? Whichever way that swings, that's what I want. So that's what I'm doing. This is actually an extra door we had from when we built the house. Don't ask. Oh, I hate doors. All right, guys, I think that's gonna be about it. I know this may seem a little abrupt. If you remember, as I said at the beginning of the video, my outro was also being done well after the fact. So 3 months ago, when I actually did this project, and going through the footage, I realized I didn't record any of the installation of the lights. I added this box here and obviously ran the wire from the switch to this box and then wire from that box to that box. I don't know why I didn't record any of it. I guess I thought I did, but apparently I didn't because I couldn't find any. And also, nothing hooking up this switch. I obviously just ran the wire and then it was done. So sorry about that. If you need any of that stuff, I know there's got to be tons of information out there on YouTube, wherever, on wiring this kind of stuff up. So sorry about that. But other than that, yeah, the project's done. I cannot tell you how much we have liked this so far, of having our storage room organized. This is so nice. You saw in the video, we were barely even able to walk in here. So being able to just get in here and move is fantastic. And having all the stuff, obviously we got rid of quite a bit, but having everything that we did keep just within arm's reach, so we know where it's at, we can easily get it, is awesome. We love this and it's fantastic. So I would encourage any of you out there that need to do the same to do it. You will be happy you did. But thank you guys for watching. Thanks to everybody who's commented so far. Everybody's been cool so far that's commented, and I enjoy actually interacting, answering questions for anybody that's curious about anything or just questioning how I did something in particular. So yeah, please keep it up. Ask me whatever, and I'm happy to answer as long as I'm able to. But other than that, please continue to subscribe and watch the videos. Thumbs up. All of it helps me out, guys. So yeah, have a good day, and God bless, guys.